back. It's Chris from the Hagen Factory. So this week we're going to have a look at the progress on the 350 Velosit engine that my father Alan's building for Ian McLeod. It's come along absolutely fantastic. And keep watching because we've got some great photos of Romsey from about 1977. So if you're into that stuff, get onto the Romsey Grass Track site on Facebook. It's really worth a look. It's some great photos, great conversations. So let's have a look.
Made quite a few advances here. We've actually fitted the magneto, which was, well, she's a pretty rough looking old Maggie. It's had a bit of a hard life, but I've run it on the bench and it throws a really good blue spark. So I've decided not to tinker too much with that. I think with Maggies, if they spark them well, leave them alone. All I did was set the points, which were from 30 thou down to 12 thou where they're supposed to be.
Did you find a cap for the end?
I made one up for the end.
Made a cap for the end?
Made a nice little cap for the end.
Fantastic. Yep.
Yeah, so they got a little tin thing there. That's the new timing pinion, the new steel timing pinion.
And that's the one that let go at Broadford?
Yeah, but it
the
was
old fiver one?
Well, again, also the Maggie they'd been louvering it, trying to get it off and everything. So I set the whole Maggie up in the lathe and I just took a little bit off the back of it.
Yep.
And
just so it seats
yeah,
nice,
just so it seats nicely. So now I've got the cam followers in there with that wave washer behind them.
Yep, we can see that.
And just see the wave. It's just enough pressure on just to hold them up. Just stops them from rattling around. And we've got all this all set up now.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's going. We're going really well with this. I've put the valve lifter in. There was a little bit of gap in there, and they do tend to drip a bit of oil out there, so I have snuck an O-ring in there.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you put an O-ring in, it makes it too tight,
yeah,
and it won't return.
Won't return, yeah.
Won't return on the spring, but that one returns fine.
Beautiful.
So that should be all right. Yep, now I'll move down here a bit. I've pulled the head apart, and what I finished up doing was, the head was pretty good, except this valve was pulled back into the seat a bit.
Yep.
But it's actually because the seat's been cut in there a little bit lower, so I don't think it's going to cause us any issues, that. But it was very loose in the guide, and the only guides I had were 500 guides, so I machined one up out of a piece of cast iron, and I pressed her in, and she fits like a glove.
Fantastic.
It looks really good, so that's good. One new guide, a couple of new second-hand valves.
So you're sort of not too far off.
A new little cap, a new little spring cap.
Yep.
A couple of sets of springs there for it, and the retainers and everything are there. So no, we're going in the right direction. Got to make a little manifold for it. I'll clean up that inlet port a bit more. Make a little manifold to set the carb
Someone
in.
already had a bit of a go.
Someone's been into that, and they've done a pretty damn good job of it, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's quite good. Have to make some studs, just the usual things, but I decided to make that new guide. It's worth it because the other one was pretty worn and they'd already had a problem with it. Just see if I can find it. There it is, there's the old guide. You can see there where somebody had actually bronzed it up and remachined it.
Yeah, it had, yeah.
Must have been loose in the head at one stage, and so it's pretty maggoty looking thing, isn't it? It's not a real good thing. But anyway, the new one's in there, so that's good. Yeah, it's handy when you got a lathe and that there, and you can make these things.
It is.
You just tap them in, and everything's good. So I'll make up some new little seals to put on there. The caps go on like so. They just sit on there like that.
Yep.
There's a seal, and you can put a big O-ring in there, or you can put a big felt washer with plenty of Celastic on it or something. And it's really only the springs that hold those on. It's only the springs.
So they're retained by the springs?
Yeah, that's held on there by the spring pressure.
Yep.
Yeah, so, but that'll be all right.
Excellent. No, it's looking really good. Ian's going to be absolutely wrapped with this.
Yeah, well, yeah, it should be good. And the little valve lifter, that's working all right. Now, I have got a new left-hand crankshaft nut and the little tongued washers that we were talking about the other week.
Yes.
I bought a couple of those. I've got them inside at the moment. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure what to do about the pushrod tube just yet. I don't know whether just to put a standard one back on it or whether I should make up one that won't leak oil. So, so we can.
Well, that might be up to Ian, that one, mightn't it?
Yeah.
That'd be a bit more work. So.
Yeah, a bit more work, that's all, a bit more time. But after going through lots of gears and things, we've got a set here they just got the right amount of lash and everything. Replaced a few gears and that, so everything's good. It's
Oh,
going well.
fantastic.
It'll be a good little motor, this for sure.
No, that's fantastic.
So it's been put together with love.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's good.
So yeah, no, it'll be good. Interest people that are messing around with Velos, with the cylinder, to get the compression up, remove a bit of metal from the bottom. Here, machine that
Yes.
so the cylinder goes down. Well, when you do, you've got to be a little bit careful because the conrod can touch, and this one does.
It does, doesn't it?
Does.
Yeah,
So
right.
what I'm going to do is I'll just get the die grinder, I'll just take a little bit out of there. Don't have to take much, and just chamfer that edge there.
Yep, the leading edge.
Just chamfer the leading edge there, and yeah, all will be good. You can turn it over with this barrel on, with it barely touching.
Yeah, okay.
But if you just move it just a little bit, it will touch. So
Yeah.
it's best to grind just a little tiny bit out of it, and that'll give it just that little bit of clearance. So that'll be good. I've had to do that with others, just grind a little bit out. And sometimes too, if you get a bit carried away and you take too much off, that'll actually touch the flywheels.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
It's very, very close. And you can, but there's no issue to machine, 60 thou or so off that if you need to.
Yep.
But
I imagine if it's touching the flywheels, it'd be hard to tension the head.
it's going to lock the motor up. The tension head there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's about all I've been up to the last couple of days.
No, that's really good. So we'll just keep an eye on this for the next few weeks, and so it wouldn't be too far away until Dad's actually going to put it together. So we'll, once it's together and Ian shows up, we'll have a chat to Ian about it and see what he thinks.
Yep. Okay. Well, what I'll do is I'll face those valves. I've got a little valve facer over there. I'll just face those valves and I'll lap them in and see how they look.
Excellent.
And yeah, we can put it all back, put the head back together, and then it's just we can drop the head and barrel on. So yeah, it'll be well on the way to being finished.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Righto, so next week we're going to have a video about Yamaha Hagen that we've got. It's actually a bull tacho frame. It should have had a 360 engine, centerport engine in it. So we'll get right into that. We've got some great photos and how I set it up and where we got it from and all that sort of stuff. But if you like what you see, like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell everyone. Let's bring Hagen's back.